Hello and good morning, Women's Business Club. I hope you're well. My name is Jen Hall. I'm back again, just so you know, I have a regular slot here every single Wednesday at 9:30, and I'm really pleased to be here. My expertise lie in helping to position you as a white-hot credible expert in your field through helping you to really define and crack your niche, your ideal client, and your core message so that you can start to attract and convert prospects with absolute ease. So I'm hoping the person that's just jumped on is Amy Box, because she said she was going to join me. If it isn't, say hi anyway. Say hi, whoever you are. As soon as you jump on, even if you're catching the replay, just let me know, pop me a hello so that I know that people are watching me and taking value, because that's the reason that I show up, and I will be showing up here every single Wednesday, 9:30. So pleased to be here to chat to you about this particular topic, because I recently sent out an email yesterday and put something in my group as well regarding the kind of issues and problems that they have going on at the moment. So I'm looking to create something free and juicy for them, and so I've put the feelers out there and said, you know, what is it that you're really struggling with? And I had an interesting response back from the email that I sent out from somebody who was basically saying that they're getting worried about their website. They're about 80% of the way there in terms of getting their website up to scratch and whatever else. And they're getting worried about how it is actually going to convert people. How are they going to get it in front of eyes? Because sometimes we can get very stuck in the process, right? And I have been there myself. I had a bit of an online debate a couple of weeks ago. I put out quite a strong post around, you really don't need a website. And I had a lot of feedback from people that I actually love, you know, care for and adore, coming back to me and saying, yes, but I needed to start my website because it really felt like I could get my teeth into something, and that I needed that kind of visual representation of what I was creating and what I was doing. And I just need to say to you, I get that. I understand that your need to feel like you have a website, particularly in a service-based business, particularly if you do work from home or whatever else. You want to feel like that you have you want to feel like you've got, it's almost like your bricks and mortar. It feels like you've set up shop, like you've opened the door, so like, here I am. I get all of that, and I understand that you need to see it. And the reason I understand it is because I'm that person. As soon as I've started on many businesses, and as soon as I do, the first thing I want to make sure is cracked is the website. I absolutely adore it. But the point of the matter is that you don't actually need a website. When you start up your business, one of the biggest mistakes people make when starting them up is starting them up for the wrong reasons. So they start them up for the reasons of, I really enjoyed doing this thing, therefore I'm going to turn it into a business. That is not the way to start up a business. You have to look at what you're doing from a consumer ideal client perspective. You can't be looking at it from the point of view that I want to have fun and I want to enjoy it. And now you might be thinking, Jen, I've been watching you for a little while now, and you're all about purpose and making sure that you're having fun and that you're aligned to it, and it's, you know, it works for you. And that's true. It does need to work for you, but it also, very importantly, needs to work for somebody else, because every business has to solve a problem. Just want to point out that I can't see, for whatever reason, any comments. If anybody's putting any comments in, they're not popping up, so I'm not ignoring you. I might just get my phone and see if I can just whiz that on to make sure that I'm not missing on any. Oh, here we go. They're starting to pop up now. Live is so timely. Amy says, live is so timely. I'm actually redesigning my website right now. Nothing wrong with doing this, but I need to put more energy into getting clients to doing my website. And Amy, you've literally cracked on the punchline here, and I love that. So what I'm trying to say to you is that your website will not be the thing that converts people. People do not want to buy online courses. Now that might sound a bit like, well, hang on, like you run online courses. People want to buy results, and particularly at the moment where the consumer is very wise to where they're spending their money, because this kind of the hype of the digital product and the hype of the courses that were put out there, everyone jumped on the bandwagon like, oh, it's a self-study course, that's so easy, I'm just going to press yes. And that's fine, and they press the button and it goes, but it kind of caused a spike. And they then realized that just because they bought this course, it didn't give them what they wanted and what they needed. And so that's why I'm telling you, people don't want to buy the programs or the digital courses. They want to buy the result from somebody that they trust to get them that result. And that isn't going to happen just because you've got a great website. It may help to be part of the process of converting, but it's not going to be the only one. We should all know by now, if you don't know this, then get wise to it. It takes between 7 and 12 touch points before somebody buys. Unless you're doing a funky tripwire, but even then you would have still had 3 or 4 touch points with that person to get into that tripwire offer. And if you're like, what's a tripwire offer? And I actually don't like the term tripwire offer. Tripwire offer is basically, I like to call it a foot in the door offer. Tripwire makes it sound like you're trying to trip people up, like you're trying to scam them into buying something, and that's not what it is. It's generally, a tripwire offer is somewhere at the very beginning of your funnel. So you would have spoken to your client at some point, you would have put them into the top end of the funnel, you got them interested in some kind of way with the front end content, and then they would have maybe asked for some information from you to say, I'm really interested in finding out more about that. You said you got a free guide on X, Y, and Z. They opt in for that, and then you see it all the time, and they're generally done in something like ClickFunnels or whatever else, and an offer will pop up and say, hey, that's great that you've downloaded my thing, but I do also have something for you. And it's generally a low cost offer to kind of test the buyers, how bitey they are, how interested they truly are in what you've got to say, and it kind of flags them up. And also, if you're running things like ads and stuff, it helps to liquidate the costs of those ads, all those kinds of things. So anyway, just in case you're like, what the hell is a tripwire, that's what one of those is, or a foot in the door offer, as I like to call them. By the way, you don't need one of those. So if you're like, oh my god, I don't even know what one of those is or what I would do not panic. You do not need them. You don't need to focus on that. Sales shouldn't be hard, but your website is only a part of the puzzle. You are the person who needs to be selling your stuff and converting your clients, not your website. Your website should be a tool to help them along the way, not something that's going to be the be all end all thing that gets them on there and converts them, because people want to trust you, and they cannot do that solely on a website, because everybody has a website. Everybody has the capability to run a website. Why would somebody want to trust you because of that? They will want to see more. They will want to know more about you and why you're so great and why you're the person to help them achieve that result. They may also want to see reviews and things like that as well. So obviously your website can be a great tool to help showcase all of that, but it really on its own, it won't be any good. So don't rely on it. Set one up by all means, but you are the one that needs to be doing the work. You are the one, and Amy, don't think that you're not doing the work, because I mentioned this morning in my group about whenever anyone asks for a singing coach, I swear Amy's name just comes up, like Amy. Like, you're doing a great job at raising your profile. Obviously, we just need to own that in ourselves. We need to say, wow, people are recognizing that I am great at what I do. I need to recognize how great I am at what I do. And I need to make sure that I'm, really feeling like that and not being afraid to get out there, charge my worth, and start, making offers to people. Because sometimes when we're in that mindset of I'm not so great, is that we don't make the offer, or we're not as forthcoming. But the thing to remember is if you know that you have, and I'm not just talking, to anyone in particular here, but I'm just saying this to everybody. If you know that you've got something that is going to help your ideal client, and this is why marketing to everybody doesn't work, because you don't feel that connection. When you know specifically who it is that you're helping, the problem that you're solving, and the outcome that you're trying to specifically achieve, you know that for the right person, it's going to change their life. And you might say, well, that sounds very grandiose, Jen, but it really can. Particularly in a service-based business, they need your help to get over whatever hurdle they've got going on for them. which is why I say businesses solve a problem. And if you're not coming at it from that angle, and you're just coming at it from, I really enjoy what I do, and you don't understand your ideal client's bleeding neck issue and the outcome that they truly desire and want to achieve, and you're not playing on those two things, it's not, because people think marketing is very manipulative, and yes, it is to a certain extent, but you've got something that's going to help somebody. Why would you hide? Why would you not come out and offer it and say, well, you've got this specific problem? And actually, yeah, because, you know, we talk about agitating the problem and helping them get to the outcome. But yeah, you have to agitate the problem, because people need to understand and really truly realize their problem that they have. Not that you're lying to them, you're just telling them the truth that they already know. And secondly, so that they can build trust with you, to know that you totally understand what they're going through. They need to know that you've been there and that you get it, and that you want to help them overcome that, because once they do, you've seen the other side, and this is how amazing it can be. So that's not being manipulative, that's building trust. That's sharing your vulnerabilities and saying that and showing that you are the expert to help them with that problem. It's manipulative in the nicest way possible. We all have to manipulate in some way, shape, or form in order to get someone to take action. But the only way you're going to get someone to take action with you is if you build the bridge of trust. And so you have to really dive into that. But you can use your website to help with that process. But like this woman said to me on the email, how do I get my website out there in front of other eyes? Is that really your website shouldn't necessarily be at the front end of your funnel, unless you can get your if you know that your business is searched for, then get your website SEO'd up to the max, so that when they go on there, they can opt into something. Because the thing is, you can't keep people on your website. People can come and go. What you want to be doing is giving them something where you've got their email address. So you see it all the time. You go onto a website and you get a pop-up saying, hey, I've got this. It depends on what business you're in and how well you've managed to do that as to whether it's really annoying or not. But either way, you want to have a really a flashing beacon of, this is something free that I can offer you. Give me your email address and I'll get it over to you. Then you've got their email address, and then you can continue with those touch points, and you haven't just lost them, because honestly, your website won't just convert off the bat. You would need to have had a few different touch points with somebody in order for them to do it. So it can be at the beginning of that, but you need to make sure that you keep them in your funnel. So do something to get their email address, and don't just say, by the way, oh, jump on my newsletter. Who wants to jump on a newsletter? Who wants to receive a newsletter? Nobody wants to receive a newsletter. It's like, boring. It really is absolutely boring. I was going to try it with a snazzy name for the word boring, but I couldn't think of anything. But it really is absolutely boring. No one wants to sign up for a newsletter. They want something exciting that they're going to get from somebody that's going to help them with their specific problem. Then they're interested, because you're actually helping them out with their problem, rather than this egotistical, well, I've got a fabulous newsletter. It's like, well, good for you, but I don't really want it. Why would I want it? Tell people why they should want something, because it's going to help them. And again, so that can happen, at the front end, or it can even happen sort of in the middle end of your funnel. But you need to be getting out there. You need to be raising your profile. Get out there on things like social media. Get out there in PR. Get yourself published. Get yourself, I've had a few clients and a ton of people in my group who have been on TV. It's just absolutely amazing. Like, get yourself out there, become more visible. You are never going to be the person that is going to rock up with a website and then become a millionaire the next day. It just won't happen, because people need to see you and understand why you're the best person to buy from. And your website will start working for you, because people know your name and they trust your brand. But you're not going to build that trust just through your website. So it's a harsh, cold truth. And as Amy's already recognized, she's just said, I know I need to put more energy into getting clients. Yes, I do believe that a website helps your credibility, because I can be a little bit suspect with some people when they don't have a website. And I'm a bit like, why don't you? Because they're so easy to throw up. But at the end of the day, you don't need one, because if you've built that bond and that trust already with somebody and built those one-on-one relationships, there should be enough trust there for people not to be worried about it. But they are so easy to throw up. Just get one up, get one done. but don't rely on it. Don't spend ages on it until you've started to make sales in other ways. Then you can spend some money, time and money in investing in getting the website sorted. Don't start doing that at the very beginning, because you can get yourself tied up in knots. It's a beautiful distraction, sitting there pottering with your website. I've done it so many times. It's so fun. You can move things around, make it look pretty, and that's fantastic. But it's a beautiful procrastination tool where you can sit and go, well, I'm working, when you're not doing the right things. Having a successful business is about taking the right action in your business. Amy said, never heard of a tripwire offer. Well, there you go. I've explained. Perfect. So that's me. That's the message I needed to give you today. If you have any other further questions about anything or want to share your opinion, then do just pop it into the comments. It's been fab speaking to you. Thank you, Amy, for popping on. Whoever else is watching, because I can see there's a few more of you on here. So yeah, it's been great talking to you, and I will speak to you again next week, 9:30 on a Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye.